Alrighty, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to our talk today. We're going to be talking about loving the skin you're in. My name is Livy Benedict. A little bit about me. I have worked at a medical spa under the direction of a dermatologist and plastic surgeon alongside dozens of estheticians. So I've learned so much good information about skincare and skin health. And I am so excited to share it all with you today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are recording this today as well. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. All right, so starting off, I want everyone to look at your skin, feel your hands, touch your neck, touch your skin, look at your skin. Tell me anything that you notice or that you love about your skin. So take it to the chat, see what you are seeing on your skin, anything that you notice about your skin. You can write it in the chat box if you want to and share it with everyone. Okay, someone noticed their freckles. I love that. Soft. That's great. Yep, your skin can be so soft. Awesome. So taking a look there. If you didn't notice anything, that's all right. Just making sure you're looking at your skin. It's really important for us to notice what's going on with our skin. So what can our skin tell us? Our skin really has messages for us from the inside out. So a lot of the time we might just see the surface of our skin and think, all right, that's what it is, but it really can be telling us so much from the inside. So for example, if you have something going on the inside, like maybe you have a rash on your skin, it may be that you have an allergic reaction to something. There was a study done in monkeys actually, where mothers who touched and caressed their babies actually changed the entire epigenetics of the child. So actually touch on the skin really can change things. So even just the gentlest touch can really make a big difference. In our skin, we have these slow moving nerve responses that actually go to the emotions in our brain. So touch on the skin, that reaction, it causes an emotional reaction in our brain, which is so wonderful. And gentle touches, just like in this study with those monkeys, give us a sense of self and who we are in the community and this world. It really connects us. So think about holding hands with your partner. I know if I hold hands with my husband, that touch really brings us a little bit closer together. And then when we're thinking about something on our skin, like acne, for example, I do have very inflammation prone skin when it comes to acne. So I notice if I have more breakouts, I'm thinking, all right, what was I eating the last couple of days? Was I eating something that didn't react well with my body? And so on our skin, we can really see. So someone else said, clear, no spots or blemishes. That's wonderful. So your skin isn't responding poorly to anything that you're eating, which is so good. And someone said, you see a lot of freckles on your arms, a tiny dark pink spot. You don't know what that is under your left arm. Okay. So it's really great to notice those things. You're like, that's new. I wonder where that came from. And that's what we're going to talk about today is those spots, how to notice things, and also talking to your dermatologist. So heading down here, what is skin and what does it do for us? So if you didn't know this, your skin is actually the largest organ in your body, which is amazing. It actually makes up about 16% of our body weight. And it's our body's first line of defense against germs. So if you think about it, your skin is covering every portion of you. That's actually protecting your immune system. It's your first line of protection from those germs, which is obviously very important, especially in these COVID times. It also makes vitamin D from the sun, which can support your bone and muscle health. So super important there. And then also touch is the first response developed in utero. So it's actually one of our first senses, which is so amazing. The touch of a mother and a baby together can be such a special moment. So if you have kids, thinking about that. And then roles of the skin. So it does protect our insides. Obviously without skin, everything would be going everywhere. So it does hold us all together, protects our insides. It regulates our body temperature. So if you think about it, when you're cold, you've got those goosebumps. When you're warm, you're sweating. It helps regulate us and make sure that we stay at that correct temperature. And it allows you to experience the world around you. So think about it. If we didn't have our skin, we wouldn't be able to touch things in nature. You're walking past a flower, you're touching it, it's soft. You're experiencing nature in there. You feel the breeze on your skin. So such an amazing thing that skin does for us. So heading into the layers of the skin. So the skin actually has so many different pieces to it. If you didn't know, skin is more than just that right on the top layer. We actually have 3 layers to our skin. So first we have the epidermis, which is the outer layer of skin. That's the layer that we can see. You can see here at the top, we've got those hair follicles that come out. That is actually the replacing that over every 4 weeks. So your skin is always shedding, which is really, really healthy. You want your skin to replenish itself. That's healthy skin. It forms that tight barrier on the outer layer of your skin. And it also identifies invaders and alerts your immune system response. So it's super, super important, very sensitive to the touch. And so that's the skin that we probably think of when we think of skin. Then that second layer is going to be your dermis. This is what contains all those glands and blood vessels. And depending on your body temperature, the vessels will expand and contract accordingly based on what your nerves are telling you. So 25% of the body's blood flows through the skin. And then goosebumps happen to trap in that heat, like I was saying, and sweating occurs to cool the body down. So it's super important in that dermis layer. And then you have your hypodermis underneath of those two, and that's that fatty tissue that helps to absorb shock and pressure to the body. So think about maybe if like, as a kid you fell off your bike or something like that, or you tripped and fell as an adult, that's what's going to help absorb that shock and that pressure to the skin. So we definitely need all 3 of those layers to keep us protected and make sure we regulate our body temperature. So super, super important. All right, guys, we're going to the chat again. True or false? Healthy skin is void of all blemishes. Tell me what you think in the chat. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see what you know. Do you think it is true or false? Do a T or an F. What do you think? True. Okay. We've got 1 true. All right. So I will actually tell you it is false. So healthy skin, you might think of healthy skin and maybe it's from the media, maybe it's from advertisements saying healthy skin is this smooth, glowing, blemish-free skin. But in reality, healthy skin can have blemishes. It depends on what your skin type is. So you can be someone who's really, really taking care of your skin and you're still getting acne. That might be from the inside out, no matter how healthy your skin is or not. So that's actually false. We all have those little blemishes here and there, and it doesn't mean that you're unhealthy, which is definitely a good thing. So heading into skin here, so the touch and feel. So if you would, for me, go ahead and touch the palms of your hands and maybe your eyelids or your under eyes for me. And in the chat, tell me, where do you think on our bodies is the toughest layer of skin or the thickest layer of skin? If you had to think from toes to head, where would you say we have our toughest layer of skin? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? We've got our fingers, we've got our arms, we've got our feet, our hands, our face. Where would you say the thickest layer of skin would be? Okay, feet. We got a little chat in there for feet. Good. So feet, if you're thinking about maybe a hot summer day and you're running on, hot pavement or hot concrete without those shoes on, imagine how difficult that would be if you were running on that pavement and your feet had the same skin that you have on your eyelids or on your under eyes, or maybe even the palms of your hands. So yes, feet is definitely correct. Your thickest skin is going to be on your feet. It can be up to 5 millimeters on the bottoms of your feet. And on some people with a little bit rougher hands or the thicker skin, it can also be there as well. Your thinnest skin is going to be on your eyelids. Compared to that 5 millimeters, it's only 0.4 millimeters on your eyelids. So it's very, very delicate around the eyes. That's why you'll see when a lot of people say, if you're applying skincare around the eye or eyelid area, you want to use that ring finger. That's going to be your weakest finger. So you're applying very, very gentle pressure around the eyes because you've just got that 0.4 millimeter skin around there. And then thinking about your fingerprint here. So we actually have 2,500 nerve receptors in just one fingerprint. And obviously we all know that your fingerprint is unique to you, but you have so many receptors. So even just touching your fingers together, that's 5,000 nerve receptors telling your brain what just happened, which is so amazing. So that's a super cool fact about skin, thinking about the different thickness and how that can work for us. All right, so what can impact our skin? So tell me in the chat if you're thinking about a harsh winter versus a hot summer, which a lot of us are in right now. I'm in South Carolina, so it's very hot and humid here. Tell me what you think the difference on the impact of the weather is for our skin in winter versus summer. Maybe tell me what you think might happen in winter, for example, especially on our face and maybe on our lips during winter. What do you think happens to our skin? Dry. Okay, great. Yes. So in winter, I am someone with very dry skin. Hands get very dry in the winter months. Definitely dry and chapped. Absolutely. So I'm glad we all know about that. So in the winter, that air, especially in the northern states and the northern areas, can get really, really cold and really dry. And it's just sucking all the moisture out of our skin. So we also can get windburned in the winter if you're in a windy area with really cold wind. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I definitely know those really bitter cold winters in the negative degrees. So just like you all said, dry and chapped. So in the winter months, we really want to be focusing on hydration with our skin, drinking lots of water. So getting that hydration from the inside out, and then also moisturizing those hands. Like you said, your hands get very dry. I know my hands get kind of cracking in between my knuckles in the winter. So I always make sure to have a thick hand cream on me at all times in the wintertime. And then also on my face, having a good moisturizer. It's usually a thicker one in the winter. And then as well, using maybe an Aquaphor or something like that on your lips to really make sure they're hydrated. All right, so moving over to summer, in contrast to winter, what happens to our skin in the summertime? What do you notice on your body, on your face? How does it change versus the winter? What do you think? Tell me in the chat. I definitely notice for me, even though I have dry skin in the summer, I definitely get greasy right here on my forehead and my cheeks in that T-zone area for sure. You notice more freckles. Okay, yes, that's a great noticeable trait. A lot of people, I definitely get freckles right here on my nose in the summertime for sure. Does anyone notice a change in how their skin feels or how it looks on your face? Do you maybe get more greasy or more oily? Or do you typically stay the same throughout both times of year? Yeah, so like I said, I definitely get a little bit more grease going on right here, and I'm definitely not as dry. I don't notice that my hands are as dry and my lips aren't as dry. So the summertime, we can get a little more oily because of all of that humidity and heat going on, but we also have to watch out for things like sunburn. Sunburn is very, very prevalent in the summer. I've definitely been sunburned before, even though I know better. Sometimes it just happens. And also, if you go to the beach in the summer, I live at the beach now, so I know in the summer that sand on my skin when I go to the beach actually does exfoliate. So it can help you with that skin cell turnover. If you're maybe out in the dirt a little bit more, if you live near like fields or on the beach, it can definitely change your skin because it's helping to exfoliate, which is a fun fact. All right, so getting into some elements that can affect our skin that we may not really think about. So Denise mentioned that her hands get very dry in the winter months. Right now with COVID times, we are all using hand sanitizer like crazy, right? Hand sanitizer is alcohol based, so it can really dry out our skin. Alcohol can really, really dry out your skin. So thinking about your hands, make sure you're moisturizing. If you're using a lot of that hand sanitizer, washing your hands a lot. If you're using a lot of hand soap at home, try to get one that has some moisturizing ingredients in it. The ones that say maybe you've got some lotion in them or things like that are definitely really, really good to protect your hands. If you have really dry, cracked skin, that can break that first layer. Remember our first layer, that epidermis, it protects against germs. So if your hands are cracked, it's going to open up just a little bit. So you really want to make sure you protect that skin. Thinking about the summertime, we might be in pools, we might be in that chlorine. You really want to make sure you, number one, wash off all that chlorine. So when you get out of the pool, make sure you're showering it off using a good body wash or soap, and then moisturizing. Again, chlorine can really dry out our skin and irritate your skin if you have sensitive skin. So make sure you're, washing that all off and moisturizing, finding a good body wash. And then also over there on the right-hand side, cleaning products. So of course, especially with COVID times, we're all really cleaning a lot in our houses, maybe our cars, in different areas. So if you can, try to wear some protective gloves over your hands when you're using those cleaning products, just to protect your skin even further and make sure that you're doing the best for your skin that you can. All right, so this is a really interesting study that was done. This is a picture of a Dutch Marine. There are 3 photos here. Tell me in the chat, from the first photo to the third photo, how much time do you think has passed? Do you think it's a few months, a few years? What do you think? How much time has passed there? Any thoughts on that? Okay, so I see 15. So I'm thinking maybe 15 years, 8 months. Okay, great guesses. All right, so I will let you know, actually just 365 days passed between that first and that last photo. So someone said 10 years, right? So why do we think 10 years? Why do we think a year? Why do we think 15 years? What things do you notice about his skin that make you think that he's aged that many years? Do we notice anything about his skin texture, anything about his appearance? What makes him look older? Wrinkles, right? Okay, so we can see those deep wrinkles in his forehead, maybe under his eyes here, his smile lines, wrinkles, puffiness around his eyes. Yes, so under his eyes, he's got a lot more puffiness, a lot more wrinkly skin. Absolutely. So yeah, only 1 year has passed here. He was deployed for 1 year. And this is what happened to his skin in that time. So again, going back to that previous point, skin can really show us what's happening on the inside as well as the outside. So of course, during deployment, you're under a lot of stress. You have a lot of stressful situations, and stress can really, really age our skin, can damage our skin. Of course, he was probably out in the elements and in pollution and rough air, and that can really also damage the skin. You can also see he's got a lot more freckles in this black and white. It's really easy to see those spots and freckles, probably out in the sun a lot without sunscreen and things like that. So stress can really show up on our skin first, whether that's acne. I know when I'm stressed, I do tend to break out a little more, and I know that I need to calm it down, maybe get some more sleep, do some relaxation, have a cup of tea, that kind of thing, because it's really, really important. Sometimes we just say, oh, I'm just stressed, I don't need sleep, but this can go to show you 1 year can really, really make a difference. And our bodies are usually trying to tell us something if we're feeling really stressed. All right, so here's a little quote: taking care of your skin is more important than covering it up. So sometimes we feel the need to put on makeup, cover up our skin with clothes. Maybe we have patches on our skin or acne and things like that. But when we take care of our skin, we can really let it shine through and be the star of the show, because we're really proud of and we love our skin. So taking the time to take care of your skin is so, so important. And we can really, really feel confident in our skin. So let's talk a little bit about skin types. So there are a few different skin types that I have here. We've got normal, dry, oily, combination, sensitive, and acne prone. So tell me in the chat, do you know your skin type? You can put a Y or an N. And if you know your skin type, you can feel free to put it in the chat there. I know for sure, I know my skin type. I'm definitely sensitive, dry, and acne prone. So I actually have a few of those categories. Okay, so you don't know your skin type, Miss Denise. That's all right. We're going to talk about it today. Okay, so combination sensitive. Awesome. Dry and combination. Okay, great. So you guys are definitely aware of what your skin is like. That's great. So if you don't know, here's a really, really good test to see what skin type you might have. So finding a gentle cleanser, you're going to wash your face with warm water, not hot, just warm, because hot water can damage our skin. You're going to wash your face with warm water and a gentle cleanser, and then you're just going to pat dry with a soft towel. Don't apply any products to your face, and you're going to wait about 1 hour. Then you're going to kind of see what your skin's doing. So after that first hour, does your skin feel or look greasy or oily? Does it look wet? Is it dry and tight? Is there nothing to see? Does it just look like normal skin? Are you maybe greasy and oily in your T-zone, in your cheeks and forehead, but you're dry other places on maybe the outer part of your face? Do you see redness, dryness, or irritation? So noticing all of those things can really tell you what your skin type is. So if you're not noticing anything, you're probably just normal skin. If you are looking greasy or oily or wet, you're probably having oily skin. If you are dry and tight overall, you've got that dry skin that's just craving a moisturizer. That's definitely me. If I don't put on any moisturizer, I can definitely feel it. And then if you're greasy in the T-zone, but dry in other places, your combination. And then finally, if you have redness, dryness, irritation, things like that, you probably have sensitive or acne prone skin. So that's a good little way to determine what your skin type is. And that way you can pick the very best products for your skin type, which is so, so important. All right, here's another true or false. True or false, you can shrink your pore size. So put in the chat, what do you think, T or F? True or false? False, okay. One guess for false, true. All right, we've got 1 and 1 here. The media definitely tells you that you can shrink your pore size, right? The answer is actually false. So even though there are so many pore shrinking products out there and do this face mask to shrink your pores, it's actually not possible to shrink your pores, which is kind of crazy to some people because so much out there tells you that you can or that you should to look more beautiful. And there are photos with close-up Photoshop skin that look like totally glass and there's no pores, but really we all have pores. We're all human. Pores are natural on our skin. We need them. We need them to regulate our body temperature and help us sweat and things like that. So you can't shrink your pore size. There are products out there that help you make your pores appear smaller, but they're actually not shrinking. So don't fall for that. If you want them to appear smaller, you can maybe use a primer before your makeup, ladies, or you can use a tightening mask and things like that, but they will eventually go back to their normal size. So fun fact about pores. All right, so let's get into some skincare here. Taking care of your skin is so important. We're talking a little bit about our facial skin here for the skincare routine. For your body, making sure you have a good body wash or soap that's not stripping on your skin. After you wash your face or your body, you should never feel that squeaky clean feeling. It should never feel tight. So if you're feeling that way, that just means that you need to get a more gentle cleanser. And then for your body, make sure that you're moisturizing after you wash, just to keep that protective layer nice and moisturized on the outside. So let's get into our facial skincare routine just a little bit here. So very, very basic would be face wash, moisturizer, and sunscreen, but I'm actually going to talk about some vitamin C here as well, because that's really, really important in my opinion, and a lot of dermatologists' opinions for your skin. So in the morning, first thing, we're going to wash our face. Like I said, finding a cleanser that makes your face feel really good. Shouldn't feel really tight and pulling, but it should also feel clean. So sometimes it's trial and error. A really, really good brand is CeraVe. That's the one that I use. A lot of dermatologists recommend that. They have facial cleansers for dry skin, sensitive skin, and oily skin, as well as acne prone skin. So CeraVe is a really, really good one if you're looking for a new cleanser. So you're going to wash your face with that warm water. Make sure you're patting your skin dry. We never want to rub really harshly with a towel or anything like that. So gentle pat. And then vitamin C. So there are so many different vitamin Cs that you can find out there on the market. Again, they're made for different skin types as well. So you'll want to find the one that's good for you. CeraVe does have one as well. But vitamin C is really important for the skin because it has antioxidants in it. It is an antioxidant, which means that it protects your skin from damaging free radicals, often caused by UV exposure. So that's why you apply it in the morning, because it's activated in the sun during the day, because it is protecting your skin from those free radicals. So that's a really important part of vitamin C. And then kind of on the aesthetic side of things, it also helps to even your skin tone, and it promotes collagen production, which plays a role in anti-aging. So we all want to look a little bit younger every now and then. So vitamin C, number one, protects your skin from those free radicals and from the sun, but it can also help you look a little brighter and better overall as well. And then moisturizer. So moisturizer, of course, as we've been saying, is really important to help protect your skin, to keep that epidermis at its very best and the most strong that it can be. So with your moisturizer, again, you're finding one for your skin type. Most moisturizers on the front will say, you know, for dry skin, for oily skin, for acne prone skin. So finding one that's really good. Again, CeraVe or CeraVe has a couple different moisturizer options that are just very gentle. The ingredients are really good. They have ceramides in them, which are extra hydrating and protective for that first layer of skin, but making sure that you're using a moisturizer that's good for you. Another note about moisturizers is you want to try to find one that doesn't have a lot of fragrance in it, if any, because fragrance can be very irritating to the skin. So if you notice that you're trying moisturizers that smell really nice or smell kind of florally, but they're not really leaving your skin feeling its best, then that might be why. And then getting into the number one step for anyone's skincare routine is sunscreen. We should be wearing sunscreen all the time, 24/7, basically. Anytime you wake up, you should really be putting on sunscreen. So sunscreen should be worn every day, no matter what the weather is like. Protection and prevention is key. So SPF, again, can be made for different skin types. If your skin is normal, you can pretty much put on any sunscreen that you want. But for someone like me, I do have sensitive acne-prone skin. So looking for a sunscreen for me, I always look that it says non-comedogenic. And that means that it does not clog your pores, which is really important for someone who doesn't like that nasty, greasy feeling. Maybe you break out from sunscreen. For a long time, I didn't wear sunscreen because they all broke my face out or they irritated me or burned my skin. So I found a brand called Elta MD, which a lot of dermatologists recommend as well. That's a really, really good sunscreen. So if you have sensitive or acne prone skin, I would definitely recommend Elta MD, but make sure no matter what brand you get, you're putting on your sunscreen in the morning. And with your products, you want to go from thinnest to thickest. So vitamin C is usually a more liquidy base. So you're going to put on your vitamin C, then your moisturizer, and finally your sunscreen. So that's the morning, you're set there. And then in the evening, you're going to go back to that gentle face wash. If you're wearing makeup throughout the day, or if you've been outside, you probably want to cleanse twice. It's called a double cleanse. You can use your same face wash just 2 times. You're going to rinse that first one off and then rewash. That first wash is going to be what mixes in with all of your makeup and the dirt and grime from the day. And then once you wash that off, then you can truly wash your face. If you really want to get into it, you can always cleanse with an oil cleanser first and then a water-based cleanser second. But to keep it basic, make sure you're just washing your face at night. Then you're going to apply a retinol if you want to add in that extra step to your skincare routine. So retinol, retinoids, vitamin A, these are all really going to help increase your skin cell turnover, which is going to help you reveal healthier skin. It helps with acne. It can help neutralize those free radicals from pollution and protect your skin. And it brightens dull skin. So if you notice that your skin doesn't have that shine to it, that glow to it, you can really brighten it up, which is amazing with that retinol because it's going to help you exfoliate those dead layers of skin off the top. And also the aesthetic purposes, it does reduce fine lines and wrinkles and increases that firmness and collagen in your skin. So all really, really good. Absolutely. I can send you all an email of the products for sure. I can also put them in the chat at the end here as well. And then after that retinol, you're going to apply that moisturizer again. So you can use the same one that you had in the morning, or some people with dry or sensitive skin do like to get a more thick moisturizer at night. So while you're sleeping, it has all the time to really moisturize and dig deep into your skin. So it's up to you finding a good one that you like. Again, I like that CeraVe, but that's up to you, whatever is best for your skin type. All right, so let's talk just a little bit about different types of sunscreen. So I did mention that you can find the SPF that works best for you. There are really 2 categories of sunscreen. One is going to be mineral and physical, and the other is chemical. So talking about mineral and physical sunscreens, these are going to be, like it says, physical. So they're going to form a barrier on the surface of your skin, and they're going to reflect the UV sun rays away from your skin. So that's how a mineral/physical sunscreen protects you from the sun's rays. There are only 2 FDA-approved ingredients for a mineral sunscreen, which is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So make sure if you're finding a mineral or physical sunscreen, you get that zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Those are going to really protect your skin. These are ideal for daily and prolonged wear because they do have broad spectrum protection against both UVA and UVB rays. So if you can find a physical sunscreen that works for you, that's awesome. Make sure you're applying a good amount because it is a physical protection. So you want to make sure you have enough there. And then going into chemical sunscreens. So it doesn't mean they have chemicals in them or they're dangerous for your skin. It's just that's how it's protecting. It's a chemical reaction is how it's protecting. It's going to penetrate that top epidermis layer of your skin, and it's going to absorb the UV rays before they can damage your skin. So instead of reflecting, it's absorbing those rays ways, and it's going to protect your skin. There's a couple different ingredients. There's about 10 different ingredients that can be in chemical sunscreen. So you just want to make sure you use a good brand. And there's so many out there. One note with sunscreen, there have been a lot of recalls this summer. So if you're going to buy a sunscreen, maybe take a quick Google search and make sure there hasn't been a recall with that specific one before you purchase. All right, so depending on formulation, chemical sunscreens can actually sometimes be easier to rub into your skin. So maybe if you're like rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and it still seems like it's white and you can't get it to rub in, that's probably a physical sunscreen. A lot of chemical sunscreens can rub in a little bit easier. And which one is best for who? So physical sunblock can tend to be less irritating because it is just that physical layer. There's not going to be that chemical reaction with the sun. So a lot of the time, physical and mineral sunscreens are a really great option for people with sensitive skin like myself. And a lot of the times they have a little bit more moisture in them. So for someone with dry skin like me, I really like that. It's a little bit heavier on the skin in terms of it's just a little thicker and has more moisturizing ingredients. But it can be difficult to blend into your skin. So keep that in mind. Chemical sunscreen can be a better option if you're swimming and you need a more water resistant formula. It does tend to stick on your skin really well. Also playing sports, maybe you play tennis out in the sun or things of that nature. The chemical sunscreen might be a really great option for you if you're sweating throughout the day and you want a sunscreen that does absorb quickly and is good for rubbing in. Either way, whether you choose that physical, mineral, or chemical sunscreen, make sure you're looking for broad spectrum so it protects from both the UVA and the UVB rays, that it's fragrance free if possible. Like I mentioned before, fragrance can really irritate your skin, so you want to avoid that as much as you can in all of your skincare products. And then again, like I said, non-comedogenic, which means it won't clog your pores, hopefully won't break you out, but non-comedogenic is a really great way to help protect your skin in a clean way. And then paraben free and at least an SPF of 30 would be the ideal for sunscreen. Taking note that anybody who wears makeup, if it says there's an SPF in your makeup, that's amazing, but that's just an extra. You still want to apply your sunscreen before you put on that makeup because it's not enough. You'd need like a huge amount of foundation to even get the benefits from that SPF. So make sure you're applying your SPF before your makeup. All right, I think I already kind of touched on this, but give me a T or an F, true or false. You only need sunscreen on sunny days. What do we think? False. Yes. Okay, awesome. So it is false. Absolutely. You need sunscreen, whether it is like it is for me right now, a thunderstorm outside, or if it's a sunny day. You can still get sun damage and sunburns through those clouds, winter and summer, all the seasons. So really 24/7 all the time, make sure you're wearing your sunscreen. All right, so getting into some guidelines from the CDC for sun and skin safety. So like I just mentioned, using a broad spectrum SPF that blocks against both the UVA and UVB rays, reapplying every 2 hours. So I think a lot of us get to the beach or get outside, we apply our sunscreen and we're good to go for the day. And we kind of forget that reapply step, but that's a super, super important step in your sunscreen. So make sure you're reapplying if you're out in the sun. For the amount for your body, thinking like a shot glass amount. So squeezing it in there, that's how much it would be. And then for your face, about 1/4 of a teaspoon. So a little amount here, but making sure you have enough to at least cover your entire face, and then a little bit extra maybe to rub into your nose. Covering up is really important. So obviously sunscreen can help us cover, but wearing a hat, maybe that long sleeve shirt, a lot of kids at the beach have those long sleeve shirts on. It might be a good idea for us adults to wear them as well if it's a really, really hot sunny day. And then avoiding high times of sun is really important for protection. So those high times of sun are usually 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can check where you live specifically for that UV index, but usually 10 to 4 is that really, really strong UV index. So we want to try to avoid that if we can. And then shade, water, and sunglasses. Don't forget your eyes. Your eyes can get burned. Your corneas can get burned in the sun. So making sure you're protecting those as well. And then thinking about our most missed areas. So your lips can burn, the ears, the tops of your feet, your scalp for sure. I definitely miss that sometimes if I'm not wearing a hat. Your shoulders, hands, and then back of your neck. So those are all places when you're putting on your sunscreen, make sure you remember, all right, I need to get those areas so I protect my skin. And then again, you can get burns at any time of the year. It could be the middle of the winter and you can still get a sunburn. Yes, so lips can get sunburned. So you can put sunscreen on your lips. And there are chapsticks that do have SPF. So I know Aquaphor is one of my favorite brands. They have an Aquaphor lip balm with a 30 SPF in it, which is awesome. There are so many chapsticks out there. You just want to watch the ingredients of some chapsticks. If they have a lot of different ingredients and fragrances, they can actually dry your lips out more. So trying to stay with something like an Aquaphor or a Vaseline that has sunscreen in it would be perfect. All right, how does sunburn happen? Just like a little quick note on that. So UVA and UVB rays are what we get the sunburns from. So UVA rays cause our skin aging, that wrinkling. So remember that picture of that deployed Marine, he was probably in the sun a lot. So he had a lot of that aging from the sun. They also contribute to skin cancer. And UV rays pass through the ozone layer. So they make up the majority of our sun exposure. So we're really seeing a lot of those UVA. And then UVB can also cause the sunburns. You can get the cataracts in your eyes, so clouding of the eye lens, and it also affects your immune system. So this also will contribute to that skin cancer, and melanoma is associated with severe UVB burns before the age of 20. So raising our hands, if we got that burn before the age of 20, I know I definitely had a couple bad burns before I turned 20. So thinking about every single sunburn you get has an effect down the road. So prevention starts now. So making sure we wear our sunscreen so we don't get down that bad path. And again, protecting your eyes because your corneas can burn. So we want to be really careful of that. All right, so if we do happen to get a sunburn, because it happens to the best of us sometimes, here's a little bit of sunburn care that we can do to help speed up the healing process. So we want to start with a cool bath. We don't want to be cold in that cold bath because that's a shock to our skin because we're going from hot to cold. So just make it kind of cool, a little bit cooler than lukewarm. You can also gently apply a cold, wet compress. Again, not too cold, but cool so it feels nice on the skin. That can help ease the pain and the heat a little bit. So placing it on the sunburn wherever that is. You can also apply pure aloe vera gel to any sunburn area. So with aloe vera, you want to check the ingredients on the label before you purchase it. Make sure it's pretty clean. Sometimes products will have aloe vera in them and they'll say that they're aloe vera, but there's actually like 15 different ingredients in them. So you really want to make sure you have that aloe vera that's close to pure as possible, with as few ingredients as possible. Of course, moisturizing cream to rehydrate the area and treat itching, because as we probably most of us know, sunburns do peel if it's really bad. So that gets really itchy. So making sure it's really moisturized and hydrated is super, super important. And then for more seriously sunburned areas in kids over 2 years old, you can apply a thin layer of hydrocortisone cream to help with pain, because sometimes it can be pretty painful, especially when you have to put clothes on. But make sure you're not using petroleum-based products because that can actually prevent the excess heat from escaping through sweat. So you want to make sure you don't use something with petroleum in it for a sunburn. And then also avoid first aid products that contain benzocaine, which can cause skin irritation and allergies, because that sunburned skin is very sensitive and open. So you want to be careful with that. All right, guys, one final true or false. True or false, getting a base tan helps protect you from burning or getting a sunburn. What do we think? If you're going to the beach, oh, got to get my base tan and, get myself ready to go. What do we think? T or F, true or false? Any guesses? False. Okay, good guess. So that is false. That is something when I worked at the medical spa was a huge thing that we heard a lot of people say, especially because we live at the beach. We had a lot of visitors coming in for treatments and things of that nature. And they would say, oh, well, I got my base tan, so my skin's more protected from burning. Definitely not true. So any form of tan is actually damage. So when you're getting tan, the darker tan you get, it's your melanocytes, that color in your skin. It's trying to protect your body from any further damage. That's why we continue to get darker, because those colors are spreading and getting darker and bigger to help protect your skin. So any form of tan is actually skin damage, whether it's a very light tan or tanning bed, tanning in the sun, anything like that. So when we're thinking about tanning, I know a lot of us like to be bronze and beautiful, but the best way to tan is out of the sun. So using a fake tanning lotion or maybe a mousse with some good ingredients so you can get that beautiful tan, but you're not damaging your skin. So being really, really careful with that. All right, and just a little note here, I'm not a dermatologist. Definitely go get your yearly skin checks, but we're just going to talk a little bit about what skin cancer looks like, just in case you're not aware. So signs of this basal cell or squamous cell carcinoma. So have a physician check out any spot, please, or a sore or a bump that looks like any of these. So that smooth, shiny, pale or waxy, firm and red, a sore that bleeds or scabs, red or brown patch that's rough and scaly, things of that nature. Definitely go get that checked out by your dermatologist. And then on the right side there, you can see, you think A, B, C, D, if there's asymmetry, if there's a border around any spots, if it's weird in color, varied from one area to another. And then the diameter, if it's larger than 6 millimeters, please go see your dermatologist. Skin cancer is very serious, so you want to make sure that you're taking care of your skin here. All right, and finally, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about some different skin treatments that you can add on top of your great skincare routine to really get the most out of your skin health. So the first one's going to be gua sha and facial massage. So you can see there on the left, that is a gua sha tool. Gua sha is a traditional Eastern Asian practice that basically translate into scraping. So it originally was a full body scraping technique that some physical therapists and people like that still do, but a lot of people now are using it just in the face. So taking the tool, you'll want to make sure you have a little bit of oil or some serum on your face. You don't want to do it on dry skin. You want to make sure it can really easily glide up so you're not tugging really hard on your skin, but just taking it right in the hollow here of your cheekbones. You can take it under your chin, right underneath the eyes very gently. You're just going to apply gentle pressure, pulling up. I got my gua sha off of Amazon, so it doesn't have to be something crazy expensive. You can keep it in the fridge if you want to have that cooling sensation in the morning. I really love that. But gua sha is really great for detoxifying. So as you slide that across your skin and apply that gentle pressure, you're actually stimulating and encouraging the lymphatic flow of your body. So that's really going to help wake up your skin. It increases the circulation of your skin. It smooths and lifts the skin. So that's a really nice feeling because it is like a facial massage, but it actually is helping your lymphatic drainage and things of that nature. And also, I don't know about anyone else out there, but I suffer from migraines and headaches, and gua sha can actually help with that as well. So if you take your gua sha and slide it up the back and sides of your neck with gentle pressure, that can really help alleviate the pain. Sometimes I'll do it with a little bit of icy hot or something like that, if you can handle that on your skin, just to really massage that area, and that can feel really nice. So it can help with tension, headaches, migraines, neck pain, and swelling in your body. So gua sha is a really amazing tool. If you ever wanted to get one, again, I got mine on Amazon. You can get them all over the place. But that little heart shape at the end is really nice for in that cheek area. And then dry brushing. So that is a dry brush there. The dry brushing technique, you only really want to do maybe 1 to 2 times per week because it can be a little harsh on the skin, but that brush has pretty firm bristles. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at your ankles and you're going to brush up in large circular motions. You always want to work towards your heart. So for example, on your arm, you're going to brush this way and you're working in large circular motions, brushing everything towards your heart. On your legs, you're going up. And then on your stomach, you're going up towards the heart. If you do your chest, you're going to go just down towards the heart a little there. Dry brushing, again, just like the gua sha, has a lot of great benefits. It's best done before showering so that you can, because you will kind of slough off some dead skin cells. So it's best done before showering so you can rinse everything off and get clean. But you're going to apply that slight firm pressure. And when you're doing that, it's going to boost your circulation. It's going to aid with that lymphatic drainage, just like the gua sha. It's going to exfoliate the dead skin cells. So exfoliation is really important for our skin health to make sure that we're always bringing that clean, beautiful new skin to the surface. And then it also can help improve the appearance of your skin. So maybe if you have bumps on the backs of your arms like I do, that keratosis pilaris is what that's called. The dry brushing really helps me with that. And please make sure you moisturize once you're done with dry brushing and rinsing off, because you've just released all that brand new skin and brought that to the top. So you want to make sure it's taken care of and moisturized and beautiful. All right, well, that is everything that I have for you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and type in the chat here those 2 brands that I recommended. So CeraVe or CeraVe is great for moisturizer and cleanser. And then For the sunscreen, I recommend Ulta MD, and they have so many different amazing sunscreen options. There's one called Clear. It has a tint to it. It's a really beautiful tan color that just really blends into almost all skin tones. And then they have just regular sunscreens as well. So if you're looking for some new gentle products, some really great skincare products, I would definitely recommend CeraVe or CeraVe. For most of their products, they have retinol products and vitamin C if you're trying to add in those steps to your routine. And then I also use them for my moisturizer and my cleanser, and then the Ulta MD for the sunscreen. But if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I have our social media here on the screen. If you want to follow us and interact with us, that'd be awesome. We are at Be More Health Coaching on Instagram, Facebook. So that would be great. Our website's also there, www.bemorehealthcoaching.com. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions, it's been such a pleasure teaching you about skincare. I hope you learned something new today. And if you don't have any more questions, make sure you guys go to the portal and take your survey. And I really, really appreciate everyone helping out in that chat today and interacting. It made it super fun for me. I hope you guys all have such a great day. Thank you so much, Denise. It's been great having you on. Thanks so much for participating. You guys were a great audience, so I really appreciate it. Hope you all have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.